My name is Jerry Schechter. I'm the Sustainability Coordinator for the City of Kansas City, Missouri. I'm in the city's Office of Environmental Quality, which is a subsection of the City Manager's Office. Our mission is to address, in general, environmental issues, environmental compliance issues, environmental training issues, as well as sustainability issues. We did a climate protection plan and a greenhouse gas inventory with the baseline year of 2000. It was updated in 2005 and again in 2013. But in that process, we developed some targets of 30% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2020, both for the municipal operations and citywide. Whereas the community as a whole has reduced its greenhouse gas emissions by only 4%, much of which is related to efficiency improvements in motor vehicles. The city has reduced its electricity use by 21% and its greenhouse gas emissions by 25%. So we're not only ahead, we're on a good track to achieving our 2020 goals, we're already ahead of our 2015 interim targets. We have approximately 350 facilities that we own and manage. Buildings such as City Hall to smaller buildings, warehouse type buildings, those kinds of things. Actual energy efficiency improvements, about 125 of our buildings so far. We've achieved across all of our buildings a 21% reduction in our electricity use, documented. So we've done in City Hall as an example, which is a 30-story building that is very nearly 80 years old. We've installed internal storm windows. We've gone to variable frequency motors. All of the stairwells have been changed out from fluorescent tubes to LEDs. Lighting improvements are far and away the most cost-effective. In that regard, we've got avoided costs that amount to very nearly $1 million a year just for core operations. Our partnership with local utility Kansas City Power and Light Company, where we've gone to for most of the rebates, has historically been invaluable. We've done a very broad range of lighting improvements, going across the board to LED uses, both in the standard fixtures as well as in what used to be fluorescent tube fixtures. Parking garages have been converted. So we've got in the neighborhood of about $350,000 in rebates so far this year, and are working on another group now that should bring us to about $500,000 in rebates for this year. And that's $500,000 that gets attributed certainly to our taxpayer base. Benchmarking means to get owners and managers of buildings to look at their baseline energy use and then allow them, once they've got the data from that, to make more informed decisions about how best to use their particular buildings. Just by the act of benchmarking and learning what's really going on, as opposed to having something anecdotally based on monthly bills, somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8% energy use reductions occur because people do something with the information they're given. So our focus was to provide an incentive to do something. And for the program, we've targeted the 1,500 largest buildings, public and private sector, in Kansas City, Missouri, not in the surrounding jurisdictions. And by the calculations that we've run, those 1,500 buildings represent about 5% of the energy use of the city as a whole, and about 5%, give or take, of the greenhouse gas emissions. So we're really enthusiastic that people will take the baseline information that they learn about in their own buildings, better analyze what their buildings are doing, what the economic impact is for them on their bottom line, and do something about it. We entered into agreements with Kansas City Power and Light Company and a local solar firm. So we've actually installed 61 solar arrays. One of the real incentives for us to do that was the availability of the kilowatt hour rebates that were available through Kansas City Power and Light. Both of our contractors used those rebates. We could not use the tax credits, so we contracted with somebody who could. About 10 years ago, the City Council passed an ordinance requiring that for all city buildings, either new construction or substantial renovations over 5,000 square feet, that we would apply for LEED certification. We've done either new construction or renovation at this point, about 19 LEED certified buildings, either silver or gold. And there are a range of facilities. We've got standard office buildings, but out of the norm, we even have a vehicle impound facility that received gold certification, which is not something that a lot of other cities have done. So we think we've implemented it innovatively as well as received benefits from it.